say
Top Billin. All right, Top Billin. It's time to marvel at this masterful performance from the Alabama offense. Obviously, we have a lot of shit to get to. We got a lot of time to burn here throughout the offseason as far as my college football coverage, so we got to get a lot of mileage out of this. So I just want to concentrate on a few aspects on this particular content item here. And Steve Sarkisian's use of motion, their ability to adjust from concept to concept, formationing you to death, personnelling you to death, everything of the sort made this a complete masterclass of the Ohio State University's defense here. So check this one out right here. We all know this one pretty much, right? You're going to get short motion to tight here by Miller Forrestal. He's going to set up, and then it's going to look like the bones of a split zone. Cross formation block by Jaleel Billingsley here, but it's pretty much play action shots. So they're going to take deep shots down the field here, two-man route combination. So it's looking like Jaleel Billingsley was supposed to pick up the first thing smoking right here. You got Baron Browning shooting on a Sam Fire, and he couldn't pick him up. And he sacks Mac Jones, right? Naked. He had a naked sack here. Sacks him, makes him fumble the ball, but you can see the adjustment here on the next play. So motion to tight there. You can see him set up. You know it's probably going to be some type of zone or mix of right there. Now check this out right here. If this were play action shot, or this is play action shots, had Jaleel Billingsley pick this up, Mac Jones would have simply set his feet, and look at this right here. Separation anxiety, social distancing measures were practiced all night long by Sean Wade. He wanted no parts of COVID. So look at this. Devontae Smith beats him off the rip. You got what it looks like. It is pretty much your deep third coverage here, right? So the running cover three here, he's beat. You got Marcus Williamson shading towards John Mechie's side. This was going to be a touchdown easily. Mac Jones doesn't miss this type of stuff, right? So, but even with that being said, you let it run here, right? Sam Fire, he missed the block. Boom. But look at the adjustment on it the next time. Oh. All right, so of course Steve Sarkisian sensing this and seeing Baron Browning as the overhang player, you know there's probably going to be another Sam Fire. So this time it's almost like working nub side, right? They bring John Mechie for this mid motion here, right? They were doing some funny motions. They was a mid motion, orbit motion, your regular jet action. They were doing it all, right? So this time, Seven Banks right here follows him inside the formation, so a combination coverage type here. You know that it was going to be a whole lot of space and opportunity if you could do what you wanted to do right here, if you were to almost influence this man to blitz, if you get what I'm saying. So almost like an influence concept. Right, motion in there now. You see almost an upside, and look, boom, he saw it right away. Too easy. That was hard. That was hard. You can see Mac Jones looking at it all the way. You can see how quick he did the play action fake this time. Immediately, they roll him back that way so he can have the throwing angle to turn around and throw it, right? Instead of him going the other way like he did last time, play action to the left this time just so he could get some more depth by being able to throw this ball and get a little bit of space from Baron Browning to throw it over him. Influenced his ass, and the rest, as they say, was history. All right, so Steve Sarkisian has a very expansive motion series, right? Like I said before, he was doing mid-motion, regular jet motion, orbit motion, but this half-moon motion shit was crazy. It was hard because if you catch him in man coverage, which they were already doing motion, they would motion Smith to the slot or wherever just to see if they're in man coverage, and then they would get him. So you see him right across from Seven Banks here. Goes with the half moon, shoots it back to the flat. And, of course, they do so much orbit motion that you think that it's going to be orbit motion. So Seven Banks would normally attack really hard across the formation here. So he does not have the foot speed to keep up with Devontae Smith anyway. Then that just makes it that much more difficult for him. So, boom. Not orbit. Then you get him out in space. Now, look at this. And then they run a little bit of divergence here or there. Make him kind of have to shuffle his feet a little bit. That's stealing. That's first down. That's a run. That's all that is right there. That's an extension of your run game. You can't tell me that's not some really good motion type shit. And they're doing it out of 12 personnel too. So you're getting these guys were countering right with the 4-4. Where I love when as soon as I saw them doing that, the shit took me. The last thing I ever played was semi-professionally, and we ran a 4-4 defense. So it's pretty much strictly man-to-man, right? Because you got 4 linebackers there. Well, your outside linebackers have to be a little bit more versatile than I believe Ohio State's were. But you essentially get caught up in conflicted situations like that. But this right here, straight man-to-man, having to defend that against a Devontae Smith with Mac Jones, put the ball on the money like that, get him while he's already in motion. Come on. This shit crazy. All right, here it is again. Now, this one's funny. All right, Sevyn Banks again. They caught him in man coverage. So Sevyn Banks once again across from Devontae Smith. Got ace personnel, so of course they want bigger bodies on the field. If they have bigger bodies on the field, you know what that means. It's tougher for you guys to run through them, defensive backs. If, bigger linebackers on the field, maybe a bunch of dime package people or whatever, maybe it's a little bit easier to get around them. But, man, he's going to have to potentially travel at what he thinks, right? Because, remember, half moon is looking like it's going to be an orbit motion. Then he shoots it back to the flat. So Sevyn Banks has to go all the way across again in his mind. But this time, he doesn't even look, right? He's like Forrest Gump. He gets his Forrest Gump on. He's just looking straight ahead. And he completely goes to the other side. Look at him. He's just now realizing. Look at him. He's like, what the heck just happened? Look at him. He's trying to navigate traffic. He's trying to navigate traffic right here. He has to run through a whole bunch of different people. And look at him. Devontae Smith sticking his foot in the ground, coming back to the flat. Sevyn Banks looking ahead to see who he needs to run around to get over there. And then hit him with the okie doke. And Smith just cruises in, too. I was looking at that. I was like, dang, Josh Proctor can't catch a man when he's cruising in. Lacking that athleticism in the defensive backfield for Ohio State. That is not your normal Ohio State defensive backfield. That was one of those backfields your people are going to pretend like never happened. All right, now I love my man Mac Jones' ability to process and go through progressions. Now, hopefully people see what I was talking about in my video where I said that I believe that Mac Jones was easily as good as Justin Fields, if not better, as a quarterback. Now, there's a complete talent. Not talking about running and everything like that. I'm talking about all the shit that being a quarterback entails. People got to stop with that goofy-ass hype shit and just watch football and take the hype out of it. I'm really getting tired of that shit, bro. If you see somebody doing something and they're able to master their craft, does it matter if they're doing it the way you would want them to do it? Does it matter if he's running around? He's pocket mobile. And obviously the guy understands progressions and understands how to evade and learns how to fucking take velocity off of throws and learning when to dial it back, when to dial it up. Just all kinds of shit like that, man. So, whatever. It is what it is. We'll get back to that another time here. Obviously, you can see Miller Forrestal out here, so you know that this is some type of zone because you see Shaun Wade across from him. So they'll motion in, but you'll have what amounts to pretty much an in-breaking route, maybe a dig here from John Mechie. Then you have a corner route from your man Devontae Smith. Mac Jones is able to process this with the back-to-the-basket play-action fake very quick because it's a two-man route combination, which is why I do like two-man route combinations because the processing does go by, right? It's not a full scan progression, bang, bang, and you're out of there. Ohio State was struggling with its combination coverage going from man to zone. This one right here is a three-deep zone, so cover three, but your man Sevyn Banks plays it like it's cover two, right? He bumps off and then he stays shallow like it's cover two, and Mac Jones processes that. And of course, a corner route is definitely going to be cover two if you can get it past the man, but it's not cover two because it's just a post safety in the middle of the field. Marcus Williamson, I believe. All right, motion him in, take a snap. That's what he does, right? When you get that, he's taking a snap. All right, he knows that Shaun Wade did not follow him. You can see Billingsley as well off pointing out, telling them to watch for a potential cat blitz here, especially when you're on the near hash, right? So if you're on the boundary, they like to send those blitzes. But boom, back to the basket, play action fake. Was already looking at Mechie right here. Now you can see Sevyn Banks' eyes. He knows he's done. All he has to do is feather the clutch. Bang, puts it right there. Too easy. What was Sevyn Banks doing here? right? There's a thing about being an athlete or knowing exactly what you're doing when you're supposed to be doing it. Look, bumps off, stays with him right there, shallow like it's supposed to be covered too. You can see Shaun Wade, he's drifting his deep third coverage. He knows what's going on right there. That's a complete break in coverage. Mechie's pretty much open wide over the middle. You got Tough Borland turning and retreating there, trying to get there just in case. But nope, he took it almost like a levels concept. He went with the high-low read. He went with the high. Banks got him. All right, so the great Steve Sarkisian knows that when Ohio State does go to its zone packages, usually it'll be cover 3. They do a little bit of quarters coverage sometimes as well, but cover 3. So if you're cover 3 based, you know that some of these underneath routes are going to be your death knell, especially when you see a guy like Shaun Wade 900 yards off the ball because he's scared of getting ran by. So he's vertical belling while he's off 5,000 yards. So something underneath is going to be open. So you'll have Devontae Smith here. He's going to be running an out route. And remember, your man is belling vertically, so that'll be open underneath. But they usually have somebody underneath to work the flat duty, right, to work curl flat zone. So they'll also have Jalen Waddle here with an in-breaking route just to occupy him, and then you'll have a clear-out route that occupies the vertical bell from Shaun Wade. So that's really just toying with somebody. They making it that easy on defense. Kerry Combs, man, I know he's a great technician with cornerbacks and stuff like that. I'm not so sure about his defensive prowess as far as being a coordinator. Check this out. How easy is that? You see him jump that route with Waddle. Waddle was just there as a decoy. Now look, Shaun Wade in that vertical bell, Mechie pushing him off. What happens? Right underneath, Mac Jones puts it there. Too easy. Too easy. One more game, we're walking through it. See, 3-man route combination. Mechie getting wheeled up the field there, right? Just going vertically. And then the occupant here, Jalen Waddle. And then this is the conflict of assignment. Does he roll with John Mechie here? Or does he take it underneath? All of this is his zone, right? He's a third of the field. But my man makes the right call there. Moves the chains. Who thinks of some shit like this? Man coverage, obviously, you see both corners on one side here, but it's kind of a banjo coverage, meaning Shaun Wade's going to take whomever's closest to him. Even though Devontae Smith is across from him right now, he's going to leak out with this potential now route, right? It's almost like a now screen. They've run this quite a few times here, but it's just bluffing. It's going to be a RPO, right? So they're tagging a pass on the back of this run call, but it's going to be from leverage. They know if Shaun Wade shoots up with this particular player right here, he's already out leveraged. Seven Banks is already out leveraged. They're going to call an in-breaking route here, and then you already have Tough Borland and Pete Werner here shooting up with the play action. It's just an RPO, pretty much leverage slant. Steve Sarkisian is a Look at this. Who thinks of that? That's hard. Who thinks of some shit like that? Who sees Sarkisian? You got to give that guy a lot of credit, man. He's even more creative than Lane Kiffin was at Alabama. I believe they're both evenly creative right now, but at least Lane forced Nick Saban to open his mind there, and Sarkisian really capitalized on that. But you can see right there, Shaun Wade shooting out to John Mechie. Seven Banks worried about vertical approach here. All they do is sink it underneath there, and you can see there's no way Werner or, of course, Borland could get there. Hit him a slant, first down, move the chains. All the passing on first down, man. Who would have thought Alabama 2020 or 2021, back when we were watching Alabama like 2008, that they'd be passing on first down so much? The evolution of football, ladies and gentlemen. All right, let me go back to this right quick because I know something's going to be pointed out ad nauseum. That's what people do. Everybody wants to be a fucking comment official, right? You're a comment referee. So the comment referees are going to come out here. And, of course, this being originally a run call, it's got run blocking elements to it. So you got Deontay Brown here. He definitely gets way too far over his skis. He's way upfield. There definitely should have been a penalty on this when they missed it. This is a pass, and he's further upfield than Devontae Smith is. I'm not sure how they missed that. But if it's not called, it's not a penalty. So I don't know what you want me to say. These officials, comment officials always coming in and be like, wasn't that a hold on number 75 in that one play? Like, man, shut up. All right, last one for now. Going to have legitimate orbit motion here. And then you're going to have, this time, Ohio State is actually in cover 2. So they're in cover 2, and you're going to get 2 hooks, right? Pretty much 2 consecutive hooks like my man Danny Garcia is fighting. Right? So running the hooks up against cover 2. Not enough depth from the linebackers here. See the snapshot being taken right here. Half roll, and then look, this is it. Half roll, he wants to know exactly where he needs to go. He puts it right up in the cupboard right here, right between the corner and the safety. Nails it. Feather the clutch, boom. Look at that. What I say, learn when to put velocity on throws. I was looking at Justin Fields. They were throwing flat passes or fades, and he's putting it 900 miles per hour. Like, this is just a different way of operating, knowing when to do it and when not to do it. But boom, too easy, right before Tough Borland could get there. So, all right, there you have it, man. Masterful performance. All right, there you have it, man. Masterful performance by my man, Coach Sark, and Mac Jones, and Devontae Smith, and John Mechie, and the offensive line, and Jalen Waddle, and everyone else, Billingsley and Forrestall. So just the entire offensive operation. I can't wait to see what it looks like next year with Bryce Young and some of these guys returning like a Slade Bolden. John Mechie will be the man, Jaleel Billingsley. All these guys got a ton of playing time, but man, they're loaded behind that with elite recruits, at least at the high school level. Tyler Jones-Bell, Trayshawn Holden, Javon Baker, right? And then they're bringing in guys in this particular class as well. So it should be fun to watch. I'm not going to automatically rule Alabama out of anything. For one, this defense should be a lights out next year. Just about all these guys returning, sans Patrick Surtain and maybe Christian Barmore in this. But, man, a lot of youth played, and a lot of youth will be killing it next year. So it is what it is on that front. I'll have much more in this game, though. I just wanted to get to some of these concepts. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. It's your boy Murf, the Underground King, Top Billin Sports, and I am out. Peace.
What more can I say?
Top Billin.